Hello, my name is Ashley Wardrop, and this is my presentation on the NSA being a security agency or a secret agency. What kind of data does the NSA collect? The NSA, the National Security Agency, collects phone records of a single target as well as phone records up to 2 hops out from the target. This means what they call detailed records order. The NSA acquires all metadata about the target's incoming and outgoing calls, the first hop, and all phone records of the people who contacted the target, the second hop. Thus, under a single order, the NSA collects all the phone records of target and first hop individuals and some of the phone records of second hop individuals. The National Security Agency is currently collecting the telephone records of millions of U.S. customers of Verizon, one of America's largest telecoms providers, under a top-secret court order issued in April. The order, a copy of which has been obtained by The Guardian, requires Verizon on an ongoing daily basis to give the NSA information on all telephone calls in its systems, both within the U.S. and between the U.S. and other countries. Analysis. The NSA collects records of specific targets that they then obtain phone records for research, or phone records of, for research, security, or spying, depending on which way one views it, that is. According to LAPRQ, it is for security purpose, but The Guardian, a British newspaper, believes otherwise. Now, the truth is a completely different story, and it seems to be based on an interpretation which is not the truth, or at least not the whole truth. However, one thing that appears to be true is that the NSA collects phone records and uses them in various ways. How much data does the NSA collect? The NSA collected at most 434.2 million phone records on Americans, down from 534.3 million records on the year earlier. Likewise, another report showed a rise in number of foreigners living outside the United States who were targeted under a warrantless internet surveillance program. That figure increased to 129,080 in 2017 from 106,469 in 2016. The report said, and is up from 89,138 targets in 2013, or a cumulative rise over 5 years of about 45%. Further data amounts. In addition, the government came under fire in June 2018 after it emerged that NSA had unlawfully collected 600 million calls and text logs without the proper authority. The agency said technical irregularities meant it received call detail records it was not authorized to receive. Analysis. Based on the previously mentioned articles, there were some discrepancies about how much data was collected. However, the amounts of data the NSA collects is very high. Then with the spike in foreigners, the amount of data collected became even higher. Now, this analysis of the provided information is from a security standpoint. From those who have a spying agency standpoint, the belief is that the NSA illegally obtained and has obtained phone records which they did not have the order to execute. Thus, everyone is again left with their own version of the interpretation rather than the actual truth. Reasons for collection. The NSA's mission statement explains, for more than 65 years, NSA's signals intelligence and cybersecurity missions have given the U.S. a strategic advantage over adversaries as a combat support agency. In addition to that, according to another analysis/interpretation of the NSA's data collection, the NSA's data collection is also for the people. For example, an NSA fact sheet about the program acquired by The Guardian says the tool allows users to select a country on a map and view the metadata volume and select details about the collections against that country. Analysis. The NSA's reasons for collecting data and protecting the United States' national security interests are seemingly reasonable. They seem to have the United States' security as their #1 priority. After all, that is their job, and they should be able to deliver that sense of security to the U.S. However, is the NSA's reasoning for their security measures justified? My interpretation? I believe that the NSA is necessary for the United States. They have probably done more harm than good, especially since they can monitor terrorist communications and stop potential threats. However, there is still a thought in the back of my mind that suspects that they may also be crossing very important ethical boundaries by spying on the American people. Then again, some Americans could potentially be threats as well. Thus, I'm left to my own interpretation, like many other Americans, with whether the NSA is illegally spying on us or just simply trying to protect us. Those are my references, and thank you for listening.